Okay, doing that for the screenshot next week. This is Chad Parenta welcoming you to another exciting week. Well, I don't know, were the last 2 weeks exciting? I'm not sure. I've been tracking down my luggage, so that was kind of exciting, but you weren't around to observe that. Welcome to an exciting night of Stone Soup. Happy to report that it looks like my luggage, if all goes well, will be delivered tomorrow. We're finally able to track it down between Air France and this Delta DDS service, Delta delivery service. So, Lord willing, it'll be delivered while I'm away at work, and my girlfriend will have to deal with the fact that it's like 3-week-old dirty laundry. I provided plenty of white vinegar for her, so we'll see what happens. But as long as the chocolate survives, I don't care. Even if it's a big chocolate mound, I've got to say that's what they do in France, and just hand it to everyone. Throw giant dark chocolate mound balls on them. But oh my luggage will be delivered to Kazakhstan. I think it's already been there. I think the luggage has seen more time in overseas than even me and my girlfriend combined at this point. So
can we all sing the Kazakhstan national anthem from Borat?
Oh God.
Kazakhstan, you very nice place.
It's always a good day when you get a Borat reference in. We have an open mic this week, and hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be able to announce we're going back to trying to have at least one open mic, one online feature per month, and one live feature a month. Hopefully we'll have some very nice announcements to make for moving forward in the assemblage gallery at the as part of the 4 Point Arts community. We had to say goodbye to one of their workers, Luke, who was very instrumental in getting everything together for the last 2 meetings. We were having issues with sound, but hopefully moving forward, we won't. Though I don't know if I'll be able to keep phone callers from coming in, but we're going to see what we can do. And they keep on talking about putting everyone on display because we do have a display screen, so that might be cool. So we're going to practice a little bit with that in the weeks to come. And hopefully I'll be able to announce the August feature by the end of this week. Very excited. And I have someone perfect for our September gathering. Someone with a brand new book out who hasn't been to Stone Soup since, I'd have to say 2005 or 2006. It's been a while since we've seen them, and I'll be thrilled to welcome them back. So we're gonna get to the open mic, and I have with the Ramdonator 5000 selected our order. I was stalling a little bit in part because we had Chris Fitzgerald join us, but sometimes he blinks in and out of existence, but he's staying out of existence for now. So my new number 1 person to start off the open mic will be Julian Powers, our legacy poet for tonight.
Thanks, Chad. I'm just going to read a short poem I wrote this week from quotes from an Adam West Batman episode. Who's the mouse if we're all cats? Lost in the alley, dancing in trash. All that glitters is gone. Thank you.
Adam West dialogue is almost beat poetry in and of itself. He could have given Shatner a run for his money in the performance department for that. Let us go now to our soon to be coming out with a new poetry collection, I hope very soon. Poet, fiction writer, pulp fiction poet, I like to call him. Let's welcome up Mr. John Wesick.
Hi, Chad. This is called Nagarjuna and Jacques Derrida walk into a bar. Faithful to his Buddhist monk's vows, the philosopher of emptiness ordered a sparkling water, while the French deconstructionist asked for a glass of house wine. They sat and turned their attention to a TV monitor that was showing a music video of a young Bob Dylan singing subterranean homesick blues. When Bob Dylan is not singing, he is no longer Bob Dylan. Derrida sipped his wine and winced at the California vintage. That's a provocative statement, Nagarjuna said. Explain your reasoning. Bob Dylan is a singer. A singer is one who sings. Therefore, when Bob Dylan is not singing, he is not Bob Dylan. Derrida packed some tobacco in his pipe and struck a match. Hey, there's no smoking in here, the bartender yelled. But your final statement is absurd because it refers to a Bob Dylan who's not singing, Nagarjuna said. Please reformulate it without the logical contradiction. Very well, when Robert Zimmerman is not singing, he is not Bob Dylan. Derrida leaned back in his chair and smiled. So singing causes Zimmerman to become Dylan, and not singing causes Dylan to become Zimmerman. Exactly. Nagarjuna was about to reply with this proof that a cause could not differ from its effect when he realized that Dylan was the song's cause and the song was Dylan's cause. This matter deserved deeper contemplation. Meanwhile, Richard Feynman, who had been sharing a bottle of scotch with David Hume, butted into the debate. That conversation would violate the conservation of mass and energy, the physicist said. It is not Dylan who disappears, Derrida stood and pointed to the sky, but only our concept of him. And where does this concept go when it disappears? Nagarjuna asked. To the storehouse of consciousness, Derrida said. I'm surprised you didn't know that. I subscribe to the Madhyamaka, not the mind-only school, Nagarjuna said. I'm surprised you didn't know that. Where is this storehouse, and does the concept of Dylan travel there instantly or at the speed of light? Feynman asked. More importantly, what happens to Billy Collins the moment he stops reciting a poem? Nagarjuna brandished a copy of Picnic Lightning he'd brought at the Barnes and Noble before coming to the bar. Following your logic, Billy would no longer be Billy once he stopped reciting. With no stage name, who does he become? Derrida downed the hated California wine in a single gulp. Isn't it more likely there never was a Billy Collins in the first place? Nagarjuna got up and made his way to the men's room. While Nagarjuna was away, Billy Collins entered the bar. Recognizing him from the picture on the dust jacket, Derrida said, "You don't exist. We've proved it by ironclad logic." Billy Collins looked at the faces of the serious thinkers. He knew he should have gone to the party at Dylan's place.
Very nice. Not the first time I've heard the Zimmerman-Dylan argument, but very well put. And up next, we're going to go to one of our phone contributors. By way of pressing *6, she can join us now for her slot on the open mic. Let's welcome up someone who's been with us since we started this shindig in 2020, Nancy Dodson.
Independence. Ladies are in their bathing suits. Water, water, water. Better than their underwear. Sip, sip, sip. Consumption is for 2 hours. Yes, fireworks happen to you. Sip, yes, yes. No one is to blame, my dear. Liquid refreshments are in view, and are all for all our peers. It happens to you too.
Thank you, Nancy. Let's see who we have next. Oh yeah, someone who hasn't joined us for a little bit. It's good to have her back. I think you'll be seeing her work in Oddball Magazine again soon. Not content to rest on her laurels of having her first snowsuit feature online not too long ago. Let's welcome up Mary Jennings. Oh, there you are. Oops, you're muted. There you go.
Well, I guess I'm the last. I'm in Oddball Magazine.
I said you'll be showing. I think you'll be showing up very shortly.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I submitted something and I hadn't heard back. So
Don't disrupt the illusion of the process. It's all magic.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Over the past several weeks, I've been ramping up writing the love child ballads. And this is one called The Ballad of Lifestyle Choice. When you are born in a hornet's nest, you are compelled to be the buzz, and the competition is rife. The system mandates to be achievement-oriented. The interests of the one seated at the head of the table must be served first and foremost. Endeavor to prove you are worthy of elevation. Sacrifices must be made, everything you love thrown out the window. Lie, cheat, steal, be selfish, but remember to call it honesty and maturity. It is your choice. You are free to flee the system if it is not honorable to you, if your mind and flesh are scarred, if you believe in working and living the life you love. The system will condemn you for making a lifestyle choice that will leave you starved, lost, lonely, and living in a filthy sty. They may have style, but they don't have life, and nobody can tell them they chose wrong. Not when they're at the head of the table, not when they're the queen of the nest with disposable workers tending to their eggs. They chose to keep all for themselves. They chose not to let it bother them. Within the system, you are already starved, lost, lonely, and living in a filthy sty made up of the lies you could not stem the flow of by yourself. Only by fleeing could you wash off the stench that threatened to be your mark in the world. The system will say you are off in your cloud as always. A cloud is preferable to the hornet's nest full of lies and innuendo. In your cloud, the air is clean and healthy. You have your own system, and it works for you. None of your concern what happens to the queen and her offspring of stingers. They will either die off or thrive in a new location. It won't be a lifestyle choice, only natural selection. Thank you.
Very good, Mary. Wanna see
Amazing.
who-
It was an amazing piece. I love that piece.
Let's see who our Ramnator 5000 has chosen next. Up next, and I have to give him share screening privileges. So I think you are, let me make sure, one participant at a time, multiple participants. Looks like you're all set to share, Mr. Gager, anytime you're ready.
All right, thanks. Thank you for allowing me this. This is a shape poem. This poem's, I hate introducing poems, and what they're about. I wrote this week, and it's about some of the stuff I found out about my father after he passed.
Mhm.
Patents held by Charles H. Gager and Charles Fowler. Apparatus for double cancellation utilizing one delay line in a moving target indicating system, 1959. Let's see if I get this per my limitations in defense intelligence, discriminating between mixed and moving objects or between moving objects at different speeds using transmissions or interrupted pulse modulated waves based up the phase or frequency shift resulting from movement of objects with reference to transmitted signals, which means, let's see, my father worked on radar defense. So this invention is about radar or a pulse radar, telling the defense engineer how fast or even if an object, a missile or an object is a moving target and how fast. So based on picking up on the signals of this object, this missile, this weapons of mass destruction claims. A double cancellation circuit for moving target indicating systems compromising a carrier oscillator means coupled to said carrier oscillator for amplitude modulating the output of said carrier oscillator with recurrent pulses means coupled to said amplitude modulated means for detecting the amplitude difference between successive pulses of said recurrent pulses means coupled to said amplitude difference detecting means for phase modulating the output of said carrier oscillator with the output of said difference detector, which means coupled to said phase modulated means for detecting phase difference of successive pulse and said recurrent pulses, which means, okay, I think I got it. That's for the machine itself. Let's see if I got this per my limitations and knowledge about my father. Radar engineer, worked on the Star Wars defense system. Lots of nuclear missiles being developed in the late 1950s. So wait, I got it. This patent is to detect attacking missiles so we can blow them out of the air before they kill us. Kill them before they fucking kill us. Filed June 4th, 1959. Coherent video input W reactance tube UNC modulator carrier oscillated normal video input and limited frequency discriminator delayed coherent video output amplitude detector delayed normal video output inventors. Charles A. Fowler, Charles H. Gager. Classified heroes.
That's amazing. I think you should have John Wissick translate it, only add a caterpillar smoking a hookah pipe.
Oh, God.
It'll work. Yeah, my dad was never really allowed to tell us what he did for work. But I do have a nice, in his file box, as a keepsake, I have a nice clearance letter from Rumford directed to my father. So that's kind of cool.
You mean
Wow.
Rumsfeld?
Yeah, Rumsfeld.
Wow.
What I would love is if anybody has a non-disclosure agreement from NASA or the government that they could share. I'm really looking to look into that. I really do, because you're not supposed to, but they say once you've signed enough of those, then you don't share because you already know what's going to happen. But yeah, those levels of clearance thing, but we're going to fix that, right? Democracy will come to the USA someday.
Yeah, how about we just work on retaining basic human rights first?
Yes.
Wow. With that, we're going to move on to our next poet, our last phone contributor, one of two tonight, and I'm going to make sure she can contribute. Let's welcome up Miss Carol Weston.
Hi. I'm full of thanks for all that all of you did for me on April 6th. The Harvard Poetry Room. Anyway, every morning I place my foot on the lava of ignorance. Pigs, do you feel discomfort that you are living in the backyard of a 15,000 patient mental hospital? Moon, clock of the world, you knock me over in your kelp-filled tides. That's all for now. Thanks.
Thank you, Carol. We have a couple more people on the first round of this round robin, 30% more rounder than other open mics. We're going to go now to CeCe Chagra. Is that okay?
Hey, yeah, can I share the screen? I'll play the jazz video poetry opening at the art gallery. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, share sound. No, it's not that one. Hold on, it's this one. Let's see if it's, looks like it's buffering here.
Okay, while everyone is still here, there's something else that is going to happen. So if I could have your attention again, please. The band is going to begin to play now. In a short while after that, I will begin to present you with what I call spoken mind poetry. So nothing is written, and it's going to be something that happens, that has happened to me in my life as a writer, that I developed this thing called spoken mind poetry, which means you're about to experience what is about to happen at the same time that I am. So stay right where you are, and that is what is before you. Listening to the Albert Revere Trio. You are in a home. A house, some may say. The particular name of this house is A.M. Art House. But really, you are all in a home. And on the wall, there is paint on canvas. And this paint is leaving the canvas and entering your eyes. And now you are all breathing paint. You're all listening to colors. Experiencing what is inside the home of your own mind. Your home is now inside you. Listen, you are home because what is happening inside you is inside your heart, and it is beating alive. Alive as the paint on the wall, on the canvas, in your eyes, in your mind, and it's all coming together because reality is an illusion. But what is happening inside you is not. The flowers that are not real to some is what your mind can smell now. The streets is what your imagination is driving through. The silence of fear is going to disappear when you walk into a house and it becomes the home, and the home is what is inside you. There are people made of paint inside canvases, inside your eyes, and they are breathing, and some of us are afraid to. They are more alive because they will live longer than we will. How is this impossibility possible? How is this illusion greater than reality? How is art more valuable than life? How is music made between notes where silence is born? The same silence that is inside your heart right now, listening to your life beat you alive, more so than what is happening in this room. It would be empty without you. Life would be cold without you. Art would disappear without you. When an artist gives their life to a medium, to a structure, to a method, it's no different than you giving yourself to the moment. The moment you are here alive, not afraid to breathe what is inside your heart and inside your mind that no one can see and no one can hear until they understand the paint that is going on inside your imagination as you are creating alive. You think you're all standing on a floor made of wood, but really the tree is still alive. And we are here because it is grateful, even though we may have killed it so that we may have a place to stand. We may have an illusion to paint. We may have a reality to call our own. We may develop an identity, a purpose, a personality, a reason to be alive and say I, and say me, and say I am a work of art. This is what me dissolves into. An illusion again. And nobody wants art because it's not real. Why don't you get a job? People say to the artist. Why don't you do something with your life besides that? Get a job, make some money. But when money fails, do you know what still is valuable? The art inside the person who values what does not die. You put a price on these walls. Nothing is for sale. Everything is a matter of value. And nothing is of value unless you're still breathing and your heart is still beating and the song of silence is still playing when you're alone. Close your eyes and look at the painting in your heart right now. Is it black? Is it blank? Is it colorful? Is it happy? Is it sad? You're the artist. Start there. The next note you think is the one you're playing. You do not have to compose fear. You do not have to compose misery, problems, the people who don't love you, don't like you, don't see you, don't believe that you are a work of art, that this is art, that we are art, that we are on a floor, in a house, in a home, because you're here. You're home. Welcome home. Albert Rivera trio. Is that amazing? They just made that up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, CeCe.
Okay, well, let me stop it. Okay,
Nice
yeah,
work, sir.
thank you. I hope that wasn't too long.
We liked it. We enjoyed it. That's what counts.
Oh, beautiful,
We're
thank
gonna
you.
go now. We have our West Coast West correspondence, or Midwest, somewhere in the Midwest correspondence, I think. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere correspondent. He is elected to join us again. Let's welcome up Mr. Bill Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Chad, who has never studied geography in his life. Midwest correspondent. Do you know where the Midwest is? That's Wisconsin. That's Indiana. That's Ohio. It's really the Mid-East, damn it. Somebody's got to learn these poets, their geography.
You're in Idaho, correct?
I can spit and hit Canada right from where I am. But it is wonderful, and the chickens say hello. Bark, 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 bark. We're going to have a whole bunch of new chickens pretty soon. I'm expecting, I don't know, 6, 8 to hatch. So we're going to be chicken heaven. But that's not for today. That chickens are for another day. Today is a deep, meaningful, soul-seeking, experiential poem about mortality and the end of life, or just some bullshit that I'm coming up with. But anyway, you're stuck with it because you don't have any choice. La 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 la. I never doubted mortality. I can't say that I've ever feared death. I had the same disconcerting experience as you, but we both survive. Isn't that good enough? I do not feel the years weighing upon my body. I have noticed that there are things that I used to do that I don't want to do anymore. I did them, I'm done. I think it a natural part of human existence that as we elders lose our physical abilities, before we lose the ability to do them, I am not interested in playing volleyball anymore. I sold my hang glider. I'm content to trot around the Charles, not run, trot. I tried to run a fast quarter last year, not full out, just fast. 90 seconds. I was exhausted. What the fuck? I felt like it was supposed to be a 65 or maybe a 70 and it was a 90. What the hell has happened to my poor body? Oh, shuffle me off to the grave. That being said, I don't really care. It's not what I want to do. I want to teach. I want to pass on my cares, my soul, to those who follow. I want my students to be more confident than I was. I want them to understand computing better than I did. I want them to be more forgiving than I was. I want them to be happier than I was. Okay, maybe not that happy. I mean, they lock you up for things like that sometimes, but still happy. That's what I want now. That's what I want.
Thank you to our Northwest correspondent. I knew I would get it right eventually. His own private Idaho man, Bill Lewis. CeCe Oshago, I shared a link to the Welcome Home video. If you can't get it here, it is linked on the Stone Soup Facebook page and elsewhere. Also linked there is some words about the late Mick Quizimano, who passed away, I think literally this past Saturday on the 23rd. That seems to be when the news spread. I haven't seen an actual obituary, and I've not seen any other details except for the fact that it was after it was revealed that he had been struggling with brain tumor for a couple of years. So that's all I know for now. The words I posted actually have links to his website, which I recommend you look at, because it really is kind of a piece of history. It really depicts kind of like the life between, what happened when Stone Soup was formed, and it's basically the time period between Stone Soup forming and then all of Jack Power's proteges learning how to make books with bindings. you know, it was that weird nebulous period in the 80s with the Naked City, and of course the Squawk Coffee House, which Mick alongside Billy Kidd and Richard Cambridge helped to run for a long time. It's if I find out any ideas of any tributes or anything else that's happening, I will let you know. But so far, I haven't seen anything online, no reaction, no family. But if you check out his Facebook page, there are plenty of tributes by other people who worked with him, either through poetry or through the films he made.
He was also part of the Barnum and Buddha Poetry Circus from the very beginning with us. And Squawk Magazine, and he did create a little series called Open Mic and Cartoon, Open Mic 101 series he did. He was a good friend for a long time. I lost touch with him since he started his band thing recently, but I'll definitely look that up. If anybody knows anything or hears anything, I'd appreciate you forwarding that news to me. Thanks.
No problem, CeCe. Someone who would no doubt work with Mick, as Mick worked alongside Bill Barnum, as James Van Looy, who we're glad to have close out this first round of the two-part round robin. That was the most awkward segue I've ever had to do, but James is a professional. Check out his column, It's All One Thing. It features and is published every Thursday morning at oddballmagazine.com. Welcome, James.
Thanks, Chad. So I've got a poem here called Cosmological Genealogy. Cosmological Genealogy. The blinking, flashing light beetles, glowworm fireflies that we call them, send their semaphore lightning signals at precise intervals to draw their mates to them, and their brightness is enhanced by the lack of streetlights down below the long ramp up to the bridge that will go across the trail in a tunnel through that goes over us into the cemetery far away, the darkest place in the city. And is exactly there, those glimmers, shimmer, a resemblance to everything rushing away from everything. Strands of galaxy are drawn in by black hole gravity at the centers of whirling spirals. The farther back in time we look with our infrared lenses, the farther we see it, as if through our own generations, with everything moving away from everything else, more connected than ever and ever, all apparent from common epicenter, and disappearing into the cosmic pool of this nothingness, ourselves absorbed into the cosmos that just flickers away in the night. And I have a little song here. This is a 1980 song from another one of these 1980 songs from a German singer named Nena, N-E-N-A. This is the English version that she did, and it was also done by a group called Goldfinger. You and I in a little toy shop, buy a bag of balloons with the money we've got. Set them free at the break of dawn, till one by one they were gone. Back at the base, bugs in software flash the message, something's out there floating in the summer sky. 99 red balloons go by. 99 red balloons floating in the summer sky. Panic bells, it's a red alert. There's something here from somewhere else. The war machine, it springs to life. Open up one eager eye, focusing it on the sky as 99 red balloons go by. 99 Decision Street, 99 minsters meet to worry, super scurry, call the troops now in a hurry. This is what we waited for. This is it, boys. This is war. The president's on the line as 99 red balloons go by. 99 knights of the air ride super high-tech jet fighters. Everyone's a superhero. Everyone's a Captain Kirk with orders to identify, clarify, and classify. Scrambling through the air, 99 red balloons go by. 99 dreams I have had, and every one a red balloon. It's all over and I'm standing pretty in this dust that was a city. If I could find a souvenir just to prove the world was here, and here it is, a red balloon. I think of you and let it go. 99 red balloons. Also was, of course, 99 Luftballons.
I have the EP of that. Katrina and the Waves was the name of the band.
Wasn't it Nana?
I think it was Katrina and I don't know, it might have been Nina. No,
Nina Hagen, I just posted a link to a Wikipedia page.
no, Nina Hagen didn't do that song.
You sure?
I
I
think
so.
I think we'll check it out. I thought it was Katrina and the Waves.
I'll put money on it for Nana. Everyone throw money into my Venmo account right now.
I am willing to be wrong. I'll play that next.
Whoops, sorry. Got too caught up in the wiki page. Just a moment. And with that, the bell rings. Round one is done. We have one more round to go, and we're starting back with the original list that the Remdinator 5000 was able to pick out for us. That means we're starting up again with Julian Powers.
Back up Jesus. Back up Jesus, donning a blonde toupee, morphing face, weak at his knees. Strong beliefs in him. Spitting contempt, honors his starlings with empty promises, led them into the wall after fluffing up feathers and petting egos. Feeding thick their sharp, his facial expressions are enough to bond hate groups who aim their thoughts and prayers to God, his son, and backup pawn. Faith is good enough. Facts mean nothing much to birds. Collectively laugh at the less fortunate. Chuck paper towel rolls into the ocean. Words aren't too important here. Low brow appeal achieved, just needed the big numbers for cheap. Gather prayers like currency. Reach for guns and religion. Cheer on digging up the ancient. Burn all against Bible interpretations. Bringing us back to back in the day when reality wasn't the same. Elevate stand-in Jesus to force once free neighbors to obey. Only one God matters in the USA. Thoughts and prayers believed to be answered once there's marriage of church and state. Power and control over objects and bodies distract us and play on us all wanting lives saved. Thanks.
Back up Jesus, a title I can get behind. Know your audience. Thank you, Julian. And let's move on now to Mr. John, our hard-boiled poet, Mr. John Wesick.
So, well, since James did the song 99 Red Balloons, I also have a piece called Red Balloon, but you shouldn't confuse that with the French film Red Balloon, or the Chinese kind of remake called the Blue Balloon. Okay, here it goes, Red Balloon. You know how it goes. A child delights in a helium balloon on a crisp fall day when trees burn with life's passing. Distracted by a Labrador retriever chasing swirling leaves, tiny fingers let go, and joy floats off faster than little arms can reach because the laws of physics turn deaf ears to voices protesting the unfairness of it all. Meanwhile, in seat 13A of an airplane bound for Paris, Luann Miller fingers her wedding band. It's white gold, and she can hardly believe that after a whirlwind romance, she and Ned, who proved his devotion by taking the middle seat, are on their honeymoon. She has the next 7 days planned in detail. The Louvre, Musée d'Orsay, Jim Morrison's grave at the Père Lachaise Cemetery, breakfasts of baguettes and café au lait, and evenings savoring her ripe womanhood. Ned doesn't know it yet, but she plans to ride his body so hard that he won't be able to climb stairs for a month. The plane's hungry engines inhale 2 tons of air per second for an intake that can drag a runway worker into its deadly maw. Devouring a helium balloon is child's play, which is exactly what happens. The gay ribbon tangles turbine blades composed of ceramics and super alloys to withstand extreme temperatures and forces. Unfortunately, their manufacturer, Hentai Machine Works, admission of substandard parts had not made it to the airline's maintenance department before takeoff. The extra stress provided by the ribbon widens microscopic fissures that wouldn't have been there if the company had manufactured its product according to spec. Blades fracture, the turbine's 10,000 RPM spins them radially outward, puncturing the plane's thin aluminum skin. The sudden cabin decompression triggers orange oxygen masks to drop from overhead, but Luann never reaches for hers. Shrapnel has severed her carotid artery, causing a gusher of blood to coat the fuselage's interior like some deranged Jackson Pollock project of gore. Captain Dusty McDermott wrestles the controls to maintain course and glances at the burning engine to his left. He recalls that flying consists of hours of boredom broken up by seconds of terror. Captain McDermott could sure use some boredom about now. The child who lost the balloon points to the flaming jet cartwheeling toward a daycare center in the distance. Intent on a Xanax and glass of Merlot, his mother straps him into a car seat without looking up at the trail of black smoke in the sky. She's had enough of his whining and will give him a long time out once they get home.
One thing John Wessex characters never have to do is tell us how they really feel. and also, you forgot the red balloon parody, "Revenge of the Red Balloon."
Oh, is there one? Oh, nice.
It was a 15-second clip on The Critic, that cartoon show with John Lovitz.
Nice.
He goes in to see Red Balloon, and all of a sudden it says Red Balloon 2, Revenge of the Red Balloon.
Oh, nice.
And a great scene where someone pretending to be someone voicing Alan Rickman surrounding the red balloon. "We have you now, Red Balloon." And the child lets go of the balloon, and they just watch it go up. And Alan Rickman goes, "I could not have foreseen that."
I love it. I'll have to check that out. Nice.
I did put a clip in.
Cool.
I'm trying to create new goals moving forward, and one of my goals is to try and out obscure reference John every chance I get. Anytime he does something,
you're on, buddy. You're on.
I'm gonna have to hold my own beer and just chug forward with my own.
It's a healthy pursuit. I highly recommend it, Jim.
Grudge match.
No.
Right. Hey. Hands on buttons. Who knows this? Who knows this out of whack reference? You ready?
Okay.
Oh, that's F Troop, isn't it?
John Weswick wins.
Is that literally like Hitler in the background, yelling in the background? I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
that's
kick his
smart.
balloon. Yeah, it's from after.
It was the white guys dressed up as Native Americans. And it is
God,
balloon.
the Hakawi tribe, yes.
That's true. Wow. That's what, early 60s TV sitcom?
Yeah, like 65 or something, I think.
Later renamed into the Fakawi tribe for every dad joke after 1989. But moving
How
forward.
about Hello Mara?
Oh,
Hello
God.
Fada.
Oh, Alan Sherman. Yeah. I remember
Here we
that.
are at.
Camp
Sorry,
Granada.
Chad, but I've led Stone Soup amok.
I hold my keg because I
Yes.
can sing the entire sequel to the Camp Granada film. The song.
Sequel.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh.
Hello, Mata. Hello, Fada. I am back at Camp Granada. I am writing you this letter just to say my compound fracture is getting better. Where my trunk is and my bunk is, where the skunk is. But this year the food's improving, 'cause the little black things in it are not moving. All the bathrooms have such thin doors. Gee, I wish they'd move them indoors. We're all tired of Mother Goose here. So tomorrow night they're having Lenny Bruce here. I'll hold off in the end. The ending I'm not as strong on, but yes.
Back in the good old days before pedophiles ran those places.
Ran. Now, anyway, I want to send chills off of any parents, especially since Margaret sent Molly to a summer camp in Vermont for 2 years. But anyway, yeah, that comes from a childhood of listening to Dr. Demento from like 9 to 11. God bless. Anyway.
I love Dr. Demento. You know, I saw him live, and he played the clip of Tom Lehrer singing "Poisoning Pigeons in the Park," and everybody in the audience held their cigarette lighters up and swayed to the sound.
That's amazing. They actually have a Demento con. There's some people who I know that are know of or like somewhat friendly online. We follow each other on Twitter who are like aspiring comedy joke writers. They have people who tried to be the next Weird Al.
Yeah,
And
I used to have the Dr. Demento D-shirt from like 1973. I remember.
Oh wow. Yeah, but apparently there's a Demento con that happens every year now.
Nice.
But I'll have to put some information on that. But yeah, if you know the right people, you can find like a host of like a Dr. Demento-ish style. And I guess he's still doing his show online. It's like a subscriber service. So he's still alive and going strong, poisoning pigeons everywhere. Okay, I think we obscured referenced Julian out of the conversation. She must not know what the fuck we're talking about. I'll have to send some some clips to you just so you can catch up. But let's get this back to poetry, which everyone knows about. That's what everyone knows about poetry and this newfangled thing that everyone's using to connect to each other with poetry called the internet. I'll stick with you for as long as that goes, then I'll go back to where it's really happening. Radio. Anyway, let's go now. Oh God, poor Nancy and Carol, poor phone contributors. Let's ask Nancy Dodson to unmute herself so she can have her second round robin poem.
Summer's heat. A street burns with fiery heat. A warming wind blows the heat along mildly. Rain, rain, refreshment is needed for the thirsty ground. Fast flying clouds let the flowers drink. Come on, jewels of the summer, drink and lift your flowery heads. Sweet flowers relish the sun and rain. Delight in your short-term bloom. The sea's joy reflects the circle of our days in the fire that heats. Rain, rain, refreshment is needed for the thirsty ground.
Indeed. Thank you, Nancy. Now I think we're back on track. Let's keep it going with Miss Mary Jennings. Don't forget to unmute yourself. There you go.
I did. Yeah. Okay. Another love child ballad called The Ballad of Common Ground. Oh, La Folia, madness, she gasped, recoiling, since the day the wicked and stupid hit the streets, bitter and proud of knowing how to get a hold of a gun and use it on anyone in their way. The world has forgotten information from the poet than the office rumor mill, where if they know you're a poet, they want to be entertained and inspired at no cost to them. The poet has absorbed all expenses. Common ground ceased to exist. The art of being human was not grasped rightfully. Everyone expects the poet to be a soft touch, even after they push her in the mud. It's what she got for rocking the boat. That's the poet's job. She wants to pick and choose her audience, but the wicked and stupid will love her for what they can get from her and use to justify their position. In this case, the poet won't be held responsible for the lethal revision of her words to suit their appetites, won't mindlessly spew out love conquers all so they can conquer the world, won't recite elegies of the seasons when it's open season on humanity. This time her love has conditions. The conditions are to respect her space, honor her being, do no harm to any one being, honor your own being, honor every single being. Refusal to honor these conditions will only ensure that the divide remains. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary, at least some of us can be serious. And yes, I put in the Camp Granada song. I also sent it to you directly, Julianne. You have homework. Let's move on now to Mr. Gager. Timotei, as the substitute teacher says it in.
If anyone wants the clip to It Is Balloon, it's a classic. All right, I've been challenged to read something serious. The people of Star Island. They are like the barn swallows circling the area and ground between the porch and the dock, crisscrossed in figure eights, joining each other in their oval, then dropping off, only to have another fall into the open slot. It's what we see from the porch. These events happen, circle us, and we circle, even sitting at tables or rocking chairs. Someone will fly off, and then a new energy, a new person will enter into the pattern, bird in, bird out. We are the swallows, circling, admiring, admired.
Very nice. I think we're back now to Carol Weston. I mentioned that because I'm letting her know that she's getting unmuted. And before she goes, I do want to mention that the Boston Poetry Marathon is going to be coming up very soon. I believe the week before, I believe it's the week before the weekend before the 15th. I believe it's the 8th, 9th, and 10th. One night, Friday, will be remote. The other 2 days are going to be in person. We're actually gathering live for the first time. I'm hopefully going to be present on Saturday as a live reader, but I believe Carol, we don't know if she's going to be, I don't know if she knows this yet, so no pressure, Carol. I don't know if she's going to be reading as part of a remote session or if she's going to be reading live.
Yes. Yeah, remote, yes.
Remote, okay, so I'll be probably part of that. So we'll talk soon, but I'm going to let you have more information about that. They're also having a special fundraiser, much of the proceeds going to a special abortion rights fund in light of everything that's been happening. I'll be posting information on that. hopefully tomorrow, or more as the weeks come. We haven't had a schedule yet, but the fundraiser's already started, and Bridget, Eileen, Suzanne, Mercury do an amazing job of organizing people, and they are looking for volunteers. So there is no open mic to this festival. It's over 100 poets pre-chosen to read, but if you wanted to just be part of it and around it, they are looking for volunteers. So I'll post information for that as well. And now, without any further ado or interruptions from me, let's welcome up Carol.
I have to dance behind the giant drum, so no one will see me fling my hands around the 2.5 million mile circumference of the sun. Watch out, the pillow has enormous gravitational pull.
Thank you, Carol. And in light of the horrible news we get all the time, I do have some good news to report. I found the sequel to the Camp Granada song. I'm sharing it with you. It bothered me because I forgot the last set of the lyrics. I just remember he's talking about mostly his brother. I know the last lyrics. He gets up at 6:30 and goes directly to the quicksand. He was lonely, now he's better. He's like all of us, except his bed is wetter. But Alan Sherman has to be heard straight from a real singer's mouth, such as his, in order to be fully appreciated. Coming soon, the obscure reference off between me and John Weswick. Dennis Miller will be moderating. You want obscure? Remember when Dennis Miller was funny? Okay, let us go. And actually, I'll post an article that actually has 80s Dennis Miller talking to 1990s Dennis Miller talking to 2004's Dennis Miller, which is a hilarious bit of dialogue that's still online. Anyway, enough of that. I have totally hijacked this open mic, and I'm not even reading on it. So let's get over to CeCe Ashagra. Let's see what you got for us in the second round.
Hey, I could do one of two things. I could play the 9 principles of involvement read by 9 of the participants for the Human Room Open Voice, which is the project that I've mentioned several times. It's not an open mic; it's an open microphone hybrid. It's a free speech platform concept. I've been working on it for 20 months, and Mary has been along for the ride for a lot. So huge love for Mary and her dedication to this long standing project. And when I finish it as a work of art, I'm going to be handing it over to everybody who says that they want to be involved in this platform. So imagine in a very high-minded, I mean, you have to take reality and shove it off the table, because this is a big idea. So basically, you give your name and your email, and you agree to these 9 things that you're going to hear. And that means you're willing to participate in a living work of art that will be an open microphone platform for free speech, nonprofits, community groups, which I'm still waiting for Chad for you to make that one. There's a YouTube page that explains more, but this is the most recent creation in that project. That there is no free speech platform in the world like this, and it's a big harebrained idea. But if it's okay to play it, I'd like to do that. Is that all right? All right, Chad. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let me see. Where's YouTube? Oh, I think it's not open. Hold on a second. Let me go in the background here so I could have a choice at it. That's that one. Okay, here it is. This is only less than 3 minutes long. And it's coming. Share screen. There it is. Okay. Did I do the audio button? Let me know if you hear some. Did everyone hear those notes?
Yes, we hear them.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes, I hear them.
All right.
One, I freely choose to take part and be included as a human being, being human, neither inferior nor superior to all life.
2, I understand this is a living work of art. My attendance and contributions allow for and encourage the creative expressions of our human potential.
3, I agreed to bring my full benevolent character and creativity with absolutely no malevolent intent to this open microphone experience.
4, I will respect others and this free speech platform to be transparent in my intent and to do no harm.
5, by sending this form, I understand the gist of these 9 beginning principles of involvement. This one-time process creates my position as an ongoing participant and future human owner of the Human Room Open Voice, and that participation, registration, event attendance, and submitting contributions are all free.
I am open to understanding how the contributing intelligence of air, soil, and water can teach us how to behave with love as a harmonious human family.
7, I accept the Human Room Open Voice is meant to ultimately be a living gift to all living participants, virtually, physically, digitally, legally, and fiscally as a living work of art.
8, I understand that my contributions to this Paradigm Art Project aim beyond dichotomies and divisions.
9, by participating, I am willing to be wrong equally with all participants.
There that. So that's the if you would do those things, then you can go to this open mic and share anything you like. You could just speak. You could just say whatever you want, and it's your opinion that you think that you are applying your contribution to those principles. And then later on, after as it gets larger and more people say they want to do this, then there's going to be more things added. Then I'm going to actually try and build a social media platform if that happens, which means everyone would get a page. And then if that works, then I'm going to be adding that if you watch a video, you're going to be compensated in art, some sort of art value. In other words, and you play a game, you have play money, right? Well, this is going to be you watch a video and you're going to get paid in a value to watch a video. And then if you contribute a video, you're going to get paid to contribute a video. And then it's going to evolve even further where monetary is going to be, a monetary system is going to be a work of art. And it's a large project. It's an expansive vision. And I if you have questions, all your questions are welcome. And there's videos that are being made based on the questions that I get to further explain where it is, but I can't explain stuff that's not here yet, except like right now, try to allude that it's coming down the pike. So I'm gonna put a little Lincoln thing. If anybody wants to do that, then believe me, Stone Soup can be a video there. And some of those voices that you heard were from New Mexico, Greece, and Canada. And there's people that I think are to do the next one from India, and Mary's already recorded for the next one too. So anyone who does this can also do a recording of all of them. And you heard Julianne's voice in there too.
Thank you so much, CeCe. You got the links. Click them. We're gonna go to our private potato head, if he's still here, Mr. Bill Lewis. I'm sorry, I meant Northwest correspondent.
You are so mean to me. Oh, geez, Louise, I don't see why I should even participate if you're going to say things like that. I have better things to do up here. I have chickens I could be feeding. Have you seen my gorgeous chickens? Here they are. They're lonely. See, they want food. And it's your fault. And wait. Apples. You must admire my apples. Okay, there you are. There you should be admiring apples right now. You should say, gosh, those are the most beautiful apples I have ever seen in my life. You better be. Now then, just a moment. Let me tell you, when I was your age, things were different. Oh, there we go. Two roads merged in a yellow wood, and we both recited Robert Frost, then laughed at our synchronicity and took the road more traveled by. We walked along and recited Frost, alternating lines, I prompting her and she me, until we had the thing as it should be. We sat beneath the power lines and spoke of all or nothing. We didn't care what we spoke about, only who we spoke with. We sat and ate the little snacks she brought, then she smiled and left me no choice. I had no choice. There was only one thing I could possibly do. So I leaned in and kissed her. And she kissed me back. And I kissed her again and again, and she me. The two roads merged in a wood, and we took the one most traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Thank you, Bill. And now, looks like he got dropped, but he's back on now to finish us off. Let us welcome up Mr. James Van Looy to close us out for tonight. This has been a pretty feisty open mic. I love it, and I can't wait to go through it tomorrow as I upload it onto YouTube, generally between 8 and 8:30. But for now, let's hear James' words. And again, look for his column, It's All One Thing, tomorrow at 11 o'clock at oddballmagazine.com. And please submit if you have been thinking of doing so, even if you haven't been thinking of doing so.
Okay, I have a little piece here called Another Tick. Another tick found its way through my multiple layers, and I did not discover its burrowing into me before it had made a nest deep in my side. I had not suspected they would be so plentiful this early in the year. Global warming flashed like my blinking, blanking TV across my suddenly overloaded brain. So I scraped my way down to the tiny mite and seized it by its hindquarters rear end, which after a careful tug of war popped free, a black body, dead in my hand, so tiny, so limp. If I hadn't felt so threatened, I would have felt sorry for this amazing creature. that had so faultlessly tracked its way across my body and implanted itself so deep under my protective layers, all without my being able to find it, despite all my vigilant checks and scratching about my itchy, restless body. Damn the suburbs, I think. I've never had this problem when I stayed in the innermost city. But then I remember how I tucked my pants into my socks when I mowed the lawn out on the farm down in slower Delaware, and would pick the ticks off my pants afterward. That was at the beginning of live disease epidemic, and now they have finally gotten under my skin. On my twice weekly visits to my grandkids out there, where for decades I never went, the suburbs, which I so assiduously avoided all those years, and the current age crisis I watched develop in ever closer detail through those decadent decades, growing is now upon us. And the ticks, those powerful proboscis-nosed little bloodsuckers, have, despite all my care, found their way under my skin, right down to my lifeblood. And I cannot believe that as the tsunami wave of change that I've seen building and chronicled so could now break and find me debilitated, sick, so unwell as I have seen others, that I will be of no use in the crisis for which I have so long studied. Oh, just like a careful tick, so steadily, stealthily, seeing the exact site from which to gain energy, to carry on the life cycle. And this, I want to sing this song again because Rob DeNice, the guy who sang this song, Friday is Fur, is just did his last concert and is not able to perform anymore. And so that was actually just on YouTube not too long ago. So this is Rob DeNice's song, All is What Adam and Friday bestand. Let everyone who breathes exist in peace. Friday is further than I, so dig my house, first in the weapons night. What have the ants met us get on? Let us but Adam in Freddy's bestand. Marx built mit Mark, and all told us how. Long for a car, dragons need hell. There no up night, summon to gun. Let all is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. All is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. Who framed Opus all your can't understand, but all is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. All is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. Last year grew, Mercy grew, oh, because this who are true. Life's not to take, but peace ours to give. Whosoever the Kurdish years have had, let all is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. All is but Adam in Freddy's bestand. Thank you. But of course, there was actually Russian verses in that, because that was a song from the 1980s. And really, of course, I think we really all need to understand here that unless there's peace, there's not going to be any solution to our larger environmental problems. Any effort to solve these problems by blaming any particular nationality or being any kind of nationalist position is not going to allow us to do the international work which is necessary to carry out the massive redemption of our infrastructure and environment. Thank you.
Thank you, James. And with that, I say good night as we all go back to our other non-poetry duties. I have to get ready for work tomorrow. I'll be preparing this file to be downloaded. Hopefully I'll have some many more things to introduce to you for tomorrow or by Friday for Stone Soup's upcoming shows. Some upcoming features both online and live. I'll be excited to announce them when I get things finalized. I appreciate all your patience the last couple of weeks, especially getting back from Paris and finding 90% of your summer wear completely gone was a little jarring. But hopefully by tomorrow I'll be washing the clothes. Washing my clothes and separating the chocolates so they can be fit into a box again so I can give them to gifts. Actually, one of the items was a wedding present, which is kind of due in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping it all works out. But I am open the suitcase quickly. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, exactly. But I hope to have more announcements and more things coming up. Hopefully a new Stones throw by September. More will be announced, and I appreciate you guys joining us, and keep on coming. It can be like this every week. All we need is you. We're going to do the obligatory wave. And there we go. And stop. Like Jane's Addiction. Stop. But I guess you got that reference. Okay, so thank you guys very much. Have yourselves the greatest of evenings, and we will see you all again very soon. Have a good night and have a good week.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you, Chad.
Talk
Good
to you later.
night, Chad.
Thank you.
Ross,
Good night, guys.
Good night.